Okay, this book is about Sofia Polgar, which was one of the strongest female chess player ever. Uh, I think she gave up chess because she's an artist, as we can see. In fact, the book, honestly, it's beautiful because it has all, I like the fact that the diagrams are colored, but practically there are Sofia Polgar art in every other page. So it's really beautiful. Plus, there are some historical pictures of her playing with her family in important events. So honestly, it's really a work of art, and at the same time he has so many games that are very interesting. So I love it as a book, and I think everyone should have something that is artistic but is also about chess, since we are chess player. So I would like to show you a game or two from this book. The game I would like to show you is between Sofia Polgar and Bent Larsen. It was played in Reykjavik in 1995. By the way, here there is a picture of her playing Bent Larsen in 1988. Obviously, this is the thing that many don't understand. Chess is a sport. If you are old, obviously you are not as strong as when you were young. Bent Larsen in 1995 was clearly at the end of his career, and so clearly the game cannot reflect the strength of Bent Larsen. This is must be clear, okay? Like if you would play against a soccer player and the soccer player or the boxer is like 60 years old, what do you expect? And this is the problem, that they continue to allow this kind of mix events, mix meeting, but how do you actually measure the strength of someone that is 60-year-old and probably cannot lift 300 pounds while he was able to lift them when he was 20? Clearly the rating system doesn't work well, in my opinion, in this way. Okay, so Sofia Polgar was white, Bent Larsen was black. e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, and here there is this knight f6, very interesting. Knight c3, c takes d4, knight takes d4. And now we have another move that is interesting, knight b d7, f4, a6, knight f3, queen c7, a4, g6, bishop d3, bishop g7, castle, castle, and queen e1. There are two ideas behind the queen move: preparing a possible push with e4, e5 and transferring the queen to the king side. e6. Playing both g6 and e6 with black in the Sicilian is rarely successful. So this is the problem. Some of these grandmasters, also when they are old, they continue to play, but maybe they are not updated on the latest theory. I remember that Korchnoi, for example, had a period that he was unsuccessful up to the moment they explained to him how to use a computer and start to prepare with chess base. And then, boom, he adapted a little and he was able to prepare and compete again. But if he wouldn't have done that kind of step, he would have been clearly out, okay? And here you have practically three sisters that are trained by parents from when they were little. and so the parents also prepare all the opening repertoire. Clearly, it's a more than 5 people effort against 1. The result, I think, it's clear, right? King h1, knight c5, queen h4, b6. I think at this point is a kind of hedgehog formation, but probably it's a little too late. f5, a pawn sacrifice with a plan of opening the diagonal for the bishop, and maybe this bishop too, right? So all the bishops, if you notice, are... Here you can also already see that the game, in a sense, is doomed. And you say, why? Well, white has all the active pieces actually attacking, aiming at the king, enemy king. What is black doing actually? I don't know. I actually don't know. And is not even going to have a majority of pieces defending his king in a few moves. You can see what's going on there is terrible. Okay? Okay, so queen h4, b6, f5, e takes f5, e takes f5, knight takes d3, c takes d3, bishop takes f5. And now there is another beautiful move by Polgar, so eventually you can try to guess it. She played knight d4, offering another pawn, but taking it. If black continues with bishop takes d3, there is rook takes f6, and would lose material for black. If black defends the bishop with queen d7, after knight takes f5, g takes f5, bishop h6. As you can see, the position is open and dangerous for black. And white gets great compensation for the sacrifice pawn. Yeah, definitely. So sometimes in chess you must not be scared of giving away material, especially in the middle game, if it is justified by attack. Queen c5, knight takes f5, g takes f5, and now there is d4. So as you can see, white is going to attack, but fourth is making sure that the defensive pieces are kicked away. Queen c4, rook takes f5, and now there is knight e8. She also put a note saying that if you play queen e6, obviously there is rook g5, and it starts to be really a huge problem. So knight e8, not the best defense, but there is some logic to it, because it's defending the bishop g7. I like the book because, again, it's full of beautiful images, it's all colorful. It was time that a publisher would risk to do something like this, because I'm sure it's kind of expensive, this kind of thing. But it's really artistic. Okay, now there is this position. What would you play as white? Because try always to be active and gain a kind of insight into the game through thinking for your own, okay? Polgar played knight d5. The superpower of a knight in the center is again revealed. If black plays queen takes d4, then there is knight e7, king h8, queen takes h7, king takes h7, rook h5, bishop h6, rook takes h6, king g7, and what do you have there? Knight f5. So the knight goes here, winning. Interesting. So let's try to see it. Winning the queen back. Ah, wow. This would tell you a lot, because you can see Some of these young players, they are really good at spotting tactics, but not only. They are good at calculation. Here there is a line that is 4 moves long, which is ideal for a human player. And so let's see it on the board, okay? So this is a mistake. Queen takes d4 is a mistake. Why? Knight e7, king h8, check. Oops, sorry. Take, check, take, and tuck, gaining back the queen. So for her this is winning. That would win the game after the knight check with an extra bishop, okay? Because at this point, if you play, let's say this, tuck, okay? And you can see, yes, pawns are the same, knight and knight, two rooks, but there is an extra bishop, and so that's a win. Okay, I will pause a second to bring the pieces back. Okay, the pieces are back. Let me once more show you. She played knight d5, disregarding the pawn on d4. And now she played, Bent Larsen played rook a7. Now obviously there would be a big mistake if white plays knight e7 because it doesn't work anymore. So you must adapt a little, okay? And notice the difference of a position in some moments. So she continued with bishop e3. Finally the bishop is out. In fact, I was also asking myself, I mean, when is this rook going to be used, right? Because it's out of the game. f6. Queen e4. The queen will also be able to attack h7 from here. Everything considered, this is a more active spot for it. Rook a f7, knight e7 check, king h8, and now the game ends up with rook h5, as you can see, okay? Black resigns since the h-pawn will be taken one way or another, after which the king is to expose. For example, after f5, a rook sacrifice leads to mate in only 3 moves. So can you see the rook sacrifice and the checkmate? So pause and try to see it, okay? So rook takes h7, king takes h7, queen h4, bishop h6, and queen takes h6, checkmate. Here there is a quote from Bobby Fischer which says, "Chess is a matter of delicate judgment, knowing when to punch and how to duck." I hope you enjoyed this quick review of this beautiful and artistic book. Also, if you don't like to watch chess games, I believe it's worth it just for the artwork by Sofia Polgar, which is clearly a gifted artist. And thank you very much.